Hello everyone, and good afternoon from Germany to wherever you are watching from, whichever time zone it is. Today we have a very special guest in our webinar. Oops, I'm hearing myself double right now. Sorry. Not a professional sound guy, it seems. Okay, so yeah, we have a very special guest today. We have Pascal Schillo with us from the band Eskimo Callboy. Long time Clang users already, a lot of experience with it, and yeah, we thought we want to show a little bit of a different side than the webinars we did before, where we were mostly talking to sound engineers who are just working with the musicians, and today we're talking actually with a musician. So, one second. Eskimo Callboy exists since roughly 10 years. And they are touring pretty much all over the world, mostly in Germany, Russia, but it also has brought them to the US and I think Japan as well, and many, many other countries. They are very, very popular because they have a quite unique style of very aggressive metalcore or techcore, or however you wanna label that. I might have be corrected later when Pascal joins us. With fantastic songs, a very energetic live show, and a very, very complex sound spectrum. Because of course there's quite a bit of very low tuned high gain guitars, distorted bass, synthesizer elements. So it's very, very full mix, and that exactly is of course quite challenging for an in-ear monitoring mix. So we will talk about how Eskimo Callboy is working with Clang to make that as relaxed as possible. So a very warm welcome to Pascal. Hi Pascal,
Hey.
How are you doing?
Nice to see you. I'm good, and you?
Fantastic, fantastic. Cool. Hey, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today here. So it will be quite a bit of a techie talk today, I think.
Yeah, most.
And the interesting thing is, so you're the guitarist, or one of the two guitarists for Eskimo Callboy, but you also take care of all the technical setup, right?
Yeah, it was from the very beginning when we started the band. You need one guy who's taking care of all the tech stuff, and that was me from the beginning. So I was not searching for this job, but yeah, it was kind of
It happened.
the roles they developed, and I was the tech guy in Eskimo Callboy from the beginning. So yeah.
Okay, that's fantastic. But the cool thing is, I mean, you're playing pretty big tours and pretty big shows now. So you have your own crew, you have your own tech guys with you, but you still keep pretty much a foot on designing the technical setup, correct?
Yeah, when we do the preparations for a tour, we just sit down in our rehearsal room, and then all the stuff when we make choices coming to mixing desks or something, we do it on our own with our sound guy together. But most of the thing when it comes to wiring and building the racks, we do it in our rehearsal room. So yeah.
Very cool, very cool. So you have a technical background, right? So you studied electronic engineering, right?
Yeah, right. It was back in 2007 when I started this, right after I finished my school. But I never finished the study, so it was too much touring and too much band thing. I was, I don't know, 5 years at the university, but never finished it.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's a very good reason not to finish, right? I mean, being on tour is probably more fun than just sitting in front of a professor most of the time.
Yeah,
So.
that's true.
Nice. So you already have quite a technical part in your profile. You also started another studies, or even finished another studies while working with the band already for video production, correct?
Yeah, that's right. It was, I don't know, 2015, and I didn't have any degree, so I decided to do something. Yeah, I don't know. Like we we started shooting music videos on our own. Like the first one was Crystals, where I did the camera, and it was just, I don't know, I didn't have a background, but I just took the camera and did it, and it was so much fun shooting this video, and the result was so cool. And then I thought, yeah, maybe I should do more in this direction. And so I started studying and finished in 2018. It's a whole different thing, but it was like partly a very techie studium. So you have all the camera stuff and all the tech specs and stuff, what you need to know. And so, yeah, kind of comes together at the end all.
Very, very cool. So yeah, that's a very broad spectrum that you're doing there. Very, very cool. So should we take a little bit of a look into your rig?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you sent me a couple of pictures already. So if I understood correctly, you have those two racks that you're pretty much taking everywhere to all of your shows, right? And they are the centerpiece of your monitoring rig.
Yeah, it's the one you see on the left side. This is our monitoring rig. And the one you see on the right side is only for guitar and bass.
I see. Okay, all right.
So
the
yeah.
centerpieces are all located on this side here. I think I have
a
little bit more detailed picture. Oh yeah, okay. So we have the D-Live, that's like the brain of the mixing board, and Klangfabrik, and then the other side is the back side of it, correct?
Right, yeah. So yeah, you see on the right side, you see all the wiring, and this is like we have a clean front. So when you look at the rack, you just see the Klangfabrik display, and yeah, from the D-Live, just like a plain surface, and in the back is all the wiring. Yeah, and what you see there is that we have like the DM0 is with no analog inputs. So you need to connect a stage box when you want to plug in the microphone or XLR cable. And yeah, we had to put two cards in it. Like it's not high resolution, but maybe you can see it. It's a Dante card and a MADI card, where we go with digital inputs. For example, we have the Shure microphones, 84Q, going in there via Dante, and the Cymatic player is our player for the samples, and this goes in digital with MADI. So
okay, very cool.
Yeah, that's the basic setup.
Nice. Okay, so that gives you a lot of digital options, and you don't have to rely on analog cabling too much. We have also a little bit of a more detailed view on that. So basically, the DM0 by Alan Heath is the centerpiece and the brain of the mixing board.
Right.
While the surface that your front of house guy has at front of house is basically just a remote control for that. And then you're using two remote stage boxes which are connected via Ethernet and the Alan Heath Giga Ace protocol, right?
Yeah, that's true. We have one for the drum kit where we put it on the drum riser and then plug everything in, and then one Ethernet cable is going to the DM0. And the other one is located in our guitar rig. So since Kemper Amps still does not support any digital options, I mean, we could do it with a workaround, but we prefer to go with the XLR. So we need one stage box just for 3 Kemper Amps. It's like we only use 3 of the 16 inputs, but yeah. And I think one talkback is also connected over there.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a very, very, very easy setup.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, nice, flexible probably as well. So with some more periphery, that's the Cymatic players you mentioned. You're using 2 of those, I guess, one for redundancy?
Yeah, right. It's like we have one main and one spare, and they running at the same time. And when one is, I don't know, when someone plugs out the power or it has an error or something, then the other one will continue playing. And we did it with the sidechain on our ears. So we have a group of samples on our ears, and main player and a backing player go into the group. And when the main player fails, the secondary player immediately goes up. So this is a solution, yeah, because you can't do it any other way. since when the click is gone for, I don't know, 10 seconds, you can't play. So we needed a solution which works automatically. So yeah, this is what we did.
Nice. Okay, that makes sense. Cool. And basically, what you're playing from from the U track is basically click and I guess the synthesizer elements and a couple of other like special features that are in there that are not played.
Yeah, we have the click. We have samples for left and right, and we have some things for very low frequencies, like these, you know, from breakdowns and this stuff. Before we fuck up the PA, it's like an extra channel where we can EQ it. Yeah, but that's mostly what we do with it. Yeah.
Okay, very cool. And then with the blue lines, we see the Dante connections. One of them is for the Shure, the microphones, so the 4 wireless microphones that the vocalists in the band are using, as well as KLANG. So KLANG is also connected via Dante.
Dante, yeah.
Nice. Okay, and then we just have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, we have to the microphones. It's like 4 microphones because we have 2 for main singers and 2 for background singing. So we have stage left and stage right. And yeah, it's kind of whoever stands right before in front of the microphone, just grabs it. And so this is our very quick setup because we don't have any cables and stuff. So we decided to go with 4 wireless microphones. When you have like, I don't know, very fast festival changeovers and stuff. So we're set up in 5 minutes and don't have to 20-meter wires and stuff. So this is very easy.
Very, very nice. Yeah. Yeah. So I would imagine so that especially for festival changeovers, this is a really, really cool setup because you basically just have to roll in the rack, connect a couple of Ethernet cables, power, and you're more or less ready to go, right?
Yeah, the racks are located side stage where Rix is our guitar tech and monitor guy. He takes care of all the technical stuff on stage. And this is set up side stage. And then we only put on the drum riser and there is 1 Ethernet cable and we're good to go. So it's very, very easy.
Fantastic. Cool. So, and then the last elements that we didn't take a look at yet was the analog cabling. So as you mentioned before, there's not a lot of analog going on.
Yeah, right.
There's the camper amps, as you mentioned before, which are going directly to one of the stage boxes.
Yeah.
And then the outputs of Klangfabrik, you're using directly the analog outputs of Klangfabrik and go directly to the in-ear transmitters, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Very cool.
That's very easy. I think, I don't know if there are Dante in-ear transmitters yet out there. I don't know. But
there are some, I think, but I'm not sure if the Sennheisers are doing that already. But
I mean, it would be cool to have 1 cable in a very big in-ear transmitter thingy. But I mean, when you need 6 or 7 or 8 different mixes, it makes sense to do it analog. So yeah.
Yeah, sure. So you're using 6 of those, basically just for the musicians.
Yeah, right. We have a setup for us where 6 of them are like permanently in our rack, and we have our guitar tech Rix, who brings his own to the shows, and he gets a mix too. So he has all control and can hear what every one of us is doing on stage, and who might need help or something. So yeah.
Okay. That's an interesting way of doing it. Do you guys still use iPads to control your own mixes? For example, in rehearsals or during sound checks?
Yeah, we have like 2 iPads, like band iPads or what you want to call it. So they're only there to control the Klangfabrik app. And sometimes when we rehearse, I am going to do this thing that usually our front of house guy would do. So I'm just controlling with the Allen and Heath app the DM0 when something has to be adjusted. But yeah, that's the setup.
And both of them are running in the same Wi-Fi, so you basically can just swipe between Klang app and the Allen and Heath app on the same iPad, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
iPad or even on the MacBook, so with a bigger screen. Nice. Sometimes it's more pleasant.
That makes it very easy. Yeah. Very, very cool. This was not. How did it start that you were doing a rig of this kind, basically. So when you were starting, I guess, like pretty much every band, you didn't have any of your own gear except for guitar amps and drums and all that stuff. So when was
Yeah.
the point that you decided, okay, you want to have control over your mixes?
We played so many small shows in 2010 and 2011, and the problem was that we had very crappy monitor sound. I mean, when you are a band playing at, I don't know, 6 or 7, like in front of all the other bands, and there is a monitor guy or even no monitor guys, just a front of house guy who's pissed to make our mix. So there was the time when we decided in 2012 to do our own thing. So we bought a small mixer. I don't know. It was a Mackie, I think, where you just plug in an iPad on top, and it only had 6 mono outs. So every one of us had just one plug in the ear, and we just played with click. And I had click in my guitar on my ear, but it was way better than any monitor sound because of feedback and all this stuff. And back in those days, we had like real guitar cabinets and amps and microphones. And so you had all of these feedback problems because the stages were very small and you had a lot of microphones on stage. And then, we decided that it has to get better for us and for other people because feedback on the front of house is not very cool.
No, absolutely not. And I guess you weren't always touring with your own front of house engineer. I guess especially in the early days.
Yeah, it needed. I think it needed 2 years or something. And then we found our first front of house crew member who joined us.
Okay, very cool. Understood.
Yeah.
So and then what was the next step? So after you basically did the first steps into in-ear monitoring with that mono feed from this little Mackie board, what was the next step that you did?
I think it was when Behringer released the X32, because that was a real game changer. I think it's like you pay €1,000 and you get a full mixing desk in 19-inch rack format, and that was like when we decided to take it a step further. And we then bought like 6 stereo in-ear systems and took it to stereo sound. And Behringer did very early bring out an iPad and I think an iPhone or something like a mobile phone app where every musician could make his own mix. So yeah, that was very much a big step forward.
I see. Okay. So that was your step into stereo. And
yeah, right.
Then I think 5 years ago, Clang came into your rig, right?
2015, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it was quite funny because I saw an advertise on Facebook with this Clang Fabric, and I was like, what the fuck is it? Just clicked on it, watched all the videos, downloaded the app. You have a demo song in the app, so you can just play around and stuff. And I was like, wow, this is insane. We need it. And so I did some research how it's working and stuff. So I knew we needed the Dante card for the X32. And that was pretty much what you need. And then you need to set up everything. And yeah, we got some help back in those days from you guys to set it up.
Always.
I mean, it's not very complicated, but when you do it the first time, it's you need a little bit explanation. But there are good videos out there, so.
I guess it's mostly about the Dante side of things, right? That needs some adjustment. Yeah,
it was weird for me to connect a PC to via Ethernet to get control of the Dante thingy and route everything. So yeah, that was, I don't know, little bit new for me.
Yeah,
at that time.
yeah.
So
that's totally understandable. Nice. And then from that Behringer rig, where you pretty much, I guess the rest was relatively similar to what we're seeing today already. But
yeah,
then
right.
at some point
We had an older
older
in-ear monitoring system, like the I don't know, G2 from Sennheiser and Kemper very early, and we didn't have any Wi-Fi wireless microphones. So yeah, this one is pretty new as well. So yeah.
Okay. Nice. And then what made you change from that X32 to a D-Live?
Yeah, I mean, while the X32 is a pretty cool mixing desk, we had some issues traveling with it because when you have it in the racks and you tour a lot, I mean, we play, I don't know, like 100 shows a year, and we had issues with it. So there were screws who got loose, and we had to send it in several times for repair. So we always had a main unit and a spare unit because I didn't trust it anymore. And you have only a single connection to front of house. And there was the point where we said, yeah, maybe we need to take it a step further, make it even more professional.
And more reliable,
And,
yeah.
yeah, right. There was a time when our front of house guy, Bolo, he bought himself a mixing desk. Like he was watching out for it for a long time. And then Alan and Heath brought out the new ones. And he was like, okay, I'm going to buy one. So yeah, that's the reason mainly because we had a mixing desk already, and then I was like, okay, what do we need in our rack? And I saw that they had DM0, which was perfect for us because we do so many things digital already, and so I thought it was a perfect solution. And yeah, I think it's very cool what came up in the last years.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely, and that's definitely a good and professional solution now. That's really nice. Speaking of spares, do you have a spare for Klangfabrik?
No, actually not. We had one on our very first big tour with Papa Roach and Five Finger Death Punch. I was a little bit scared that anything would maybe go wrong, and I wrote you guys and was like, can you please send me a backup unit for this tour? And actually, the whole tour we had it built into our rack, but we never used it because the main unit was perfectly running, and so there was very good feeling for us that nothing can go wrong since we even fly with this thing to Russia and Siberia and to Japan. So and you know how the airport personnel.
Oh yes.
Roast your racks when you sit in the plane and you watch out of the window and there go Klangfabrik. So yeah, it was scary times, but since now everything is working perfect. So
okay, so
yeah.
so since then, so you only on that one tour you were carrying a spare, and after that you're just going with one unit.
Yeah, it was mostly was because I was so scared to play in front of, I don't know, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people, and imagine that the sound would, I don't know, fuck up or something. So I was so scared. I wanted to make sure that everything went perfect, and even if some device fails or something, we had a backup for everything on this tour. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, because it was we jumped from, I don't know, we used to play 1,000 or 1,500 clubs or halls or something like that, and we jumped to arenas. So we had Porsche Arena in Stuttgart and yeah, very big venues. So it was kind of scary for us in the first place.
Yeah, that's quite a step. Yeah, but hey, I'm really happy to hear that.
Yeah.
That it's all working fine. Very cool. Do you have any plans of further changing your monitoring rig, or are you at a point where you say, I'm totally happy right now?
This is this is the point which we discuss in our band very often, because whenever I say, guys, this is a solution, now we have it, and a year later I'm like, maybe we could use this or that. So I don't know. Right now I would say we're very good. So I don't see any point where we can go further, or I don't know, make an what is called the next step. So I don't see it right now, but
Cool.
I don't know what the future brings. So we're very happy. We did with this setup. We did two tours, and it worked perfect for us. So yeah.
Very cool. Yeah, I guess especially for you, it might be especially important to have a reliable setup, because I mean, you're not the technician. Even if we just have a technical talk right now, but you're not a technician.
Yeah, right.
Basically, your mind should be 100% on performing and playing, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
Did you have such situations where this was actually distracting for you?
Yeah, we had one show in France where the X32 failed, so completely failed. But I think it was in sound check, so we had like, I don't know, 1 hour to fix it or something, because it was a festival and we checked everything before, and then it turned out that this device didn't work anymore. So it was kind of hectic because you have to change everything, and I don't know. I tried to stay focused and just do everything that the show can start. But these situations are situations where you don't want to find yourself. So right now we have a good crew. We have a crew with us who knows the system, who works with us for a very long time. So I'm getting relaxed. I don't think that I'm like the only one who can fix something, or the only one who's responsible for something, because we have a very, very cool crew, and they know what they're doing. And so, yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Cool. Oh, now you're big. All right. Hey, that was really, really interesting. So speaking of crew, how big is your crew? How many members are you touring with?
I think it's 6 band and 6 crew for most of the time. So we have a front of house, we have a light guy, we have Riggs, who is guitar tech slash in-ear monitoring, and a drum tech. And did I miss someone? A photographer is always with us, and merch guys. So maybe it's even more. I don't know. It depends on how big the tour is and how many space we have in the nightliner, or how many flights we get booked. When we fly to Russia or something, we just are 9 or 10 people. But yeah, you need a little bit of crew to get everything running and looking good.
Yeah, I mean, I find it actually quite impressive, because for the size and number of shows that you guys are playing, it's a very efficient crew, I would say. That is.
Yeah, probably. They are complaining when we have too much. Our fault is that we have too much light. So we have like the big lights and the big LED walls and stuff like this. And so yeah, last time we had I think we have one more light guy helping out. And we also have some locals. So when we come to a club, we have at least 4 or 6 hands who are carrying all the stuff on the stage and helping to set up. But when it comes to running the show, it's like very small amount of people. Yeah.
Okay, I see. Very cool. I'm still impressed with that, because it's a really, really nice setup that you guys put together there. So before we go over and take actually a closer look to your Klang setup and how you guys are actually placing stuff around you, there are 2 questions already. So there's one from Tom. He's asking if you use the Porter and Davis Gigster drum throne for the drummer.
Of course. Yeah, we had it. It was broken for a while, but we had it fixed for the last tour. Because I don't know, it's better for the drummer. It's just insane when you push the kick and you feel it in your butt. It's I'm actually not a drummer and not very good at playing, but even I feel the difference and having fun playing with these things. So it's cool.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. Do you have like a fully silent stage, or do you have any side fills or subwoofers on stage?
Yeah, it's a big discussion in our band. So drum fill is always like 100% for David. So he has the Portland Davis and drum fill like going crazy. And then we have side fills, but mostly we use side fills only when we don't have enough feedback from the subwoofers. So when you play on a stage and it's like sometimes you have it where you have a stone stage or something that doesn't give feedback. So you have not these elements where like bass is vibrating and stuff. And then we sometimes use side fills and for kick and snare. So you have just this rhythm feel
that you can feel a little bit in your stomach.
Yeah, we have these these plugs in the ears, so we won't hear much at all, but you can feel it. So this is very important for us, for most of us. We have a discussion how loud side fills should be. So,
yeah, but you're using them mostly for the low frequencies, so I guess they're not too much. Yeah. Okay, Very cool. There's a second question that is very similar to what you just mentioned. Layla's asking, thanks for an interesting insight into your setup. Excuse me if I missed it, but what headphones or in-ears do you use?
Yeah, I think I got some here, so I can show you.
Okay, Rhines, the
So
German
this is
brand.
for David. Yeah, right. It's a German band from Cologne, and yeah, it's custom made. So you see it right here, what it looks like, with a little bling
Sparkling.
bling. Yeah. And what's interesting is that David, on the last tour, he just used this one. It's like regular Shure in-ears. I don't know why. He had some issues with his ear, and this one were better for him. I don't know.
Okay. That's an interesting point because not necessarily always the most expensive ones are the best ones.
Yeah, right. The custom ones are about, I don't know, 1,500 euro something, and the Shure 300, 400, and it worked better for him. So you don't actually have to pay a lot of money to get like a good or a better setup. You just have to try to find out for yourself what works for you best.
Although the top of the line ones they sound pretty awesome sometimes. But
Yeah.
are you all using the same in-ears, or do you have basically different ones? I mean, except for your drummer now, as you mentioned, who was using the generic ones.
Yeah, we have different. There are like I don't know, like different models. It goes from I think 3 to 8, and we I don't know, when did we order them? Like it was 5 or 6 years ago or something. I don't know, very early. So at that point, I use very old ones. Like I even use is it Rhines? I don't know, but it's like a very low. Like 3 or 4, stage 3 or 3 or 4, and Daniel did new ones. Oh, there's Kevin coming. So, he brought me just an empty case. Yeah, I can show you.
Okay. Cool. There's the video stuck. Okay, I think we're back. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back. Yeah. Sorry. So yeah, but
no
Daniel, for example, he uses like I think it's the most expensive one for like nearly 3,000 euros, and I don't know, works better for him.
Nice. Okay. Very, very good. So, should we take a look at your Clang session?
Sure.
I'm very curious to see and to see how you set up your mixes. So let's see. So that is your screen. Wait, let me just move us a little bit smaller so we're not completely in the way here.
Yeah.
All right. So we have the several mixes up there. I can't see the labeling. I'm not sure if that is cut off by my setup here. But it's basically, so you have 7 mixes, right?
Yeah, right.
So you're using 28 inputs in Fabric?
I think we don't use all of them.
Oh,
like
okay.
Here, it's like we go up to 24, actually.
Oh. Cool. Okay, so I guess it's a couple of submixes in there as well.
Yeah, right.
Cool. Can you show us your mix?
Yeah, sure. So this is my mix over here. So you can see here how I set up my in-ear mix regarding the 3D space. This is for the drums. I like to have kick and snare completely centered. And overheads and toms, I don't know even why they're behind, but I think it's not very important for me. So I just put them back. And bass, also not very important. You can see it here, but I still can hear it. That's the cool thing. And I like to have a mix, you can see it on the faders as well, that is very balanced. So I don't prefer to only hear my guitar. I want to hear everything. So it's nothing turned off completely. So I want to know what is going on and how we sound, probably sound for the people in the crowd. So yeah,
cool.
you can see vocals are in front. So because I'm doing some backing vocals as well, this is stage left and stage right for Daniel. And we change them from time to time. So I'm not just stage left. So I sometimes just yell at the stage right micro. So, yeah. And yeah, I labeled this one singer because it's actually not out who's our new singer. So I don't want to spoil us someone here.
Okay.
But yeah, so this is what it looks like. It's Kevin and our new singer, like both main vocalist. So I like to have them in front of me because I like to listen when they make when they talk to the audience and stuff. So I just want to be in everything and get everything from the show. Yeah. So
what I find quite interesting actually in your mix, just looking at the levels there, is that your guitar is just a hair louder than the other guitar.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think it's I can hear my guitar very good because it's like it's just on the left side and I can hear it very clearly, so I don't need it to be that much louder than Daniel's guitar. So it works for me very fine.
So you actually pan your own guitar to one side.
Yeah, right. I got
Interesting.
used to
Okay.
it when we had stereo monitoring. It was like I was always on the left side and Daniel always on the right side. And since we play very like we have very rhythm heavy music, so we kind of play most of the time very much the same stuff, and it needs to be very tight. So I can very clearly hear if the guitars are perfectly synced. So why I have it left and right.
Are you also using the elevation part? Are you moving signals above your head or below your head?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know why. I just played around with it a little bit, and I thought that it would be for the overheads. I think it adds a little bit air. Like I don't know if it's how this is working or what people usually do with it, but I felt that it made sense. And same for the vocals. So they just cut a little bit more through the mix.
Well, yeah, there's actually quite a bit of reasoning why you perceive it like that. But it's beautiful to see that you just intuitively put the stuff exactly where I would probably recommend to put them.
Okay, cool.
So we don't want to go too much into detail with that. For the people watching, in case you're interested in all that and why certain signals appear or are focused in a different way depending on the placement, please check out our binaural basics webinar. That's where we go into all the detail about that. Cool. Can you show us any other mixes just so we have a little bit of a comparison?
Yeah, sure. For example, David.
The drummer.
So
yeah,
drummer. So you can see that, of course, like drums are very loud. No bass for him, almost no vocals for him, and click very, very loud.
Wow.
And
okay.
You can see it here as well in the 3D mix. You can see that for him is click very important, so it's in the front. He has overheads and toms here. Kick and snare, it's like, I don't know why, but it felt, for me as well, it feels good when these rhythm giving elements are like straight in the middle. I feel it has the most punch when it's here. And yeah, David is like, it's very drum heavy mix. So everything that's not very important for him is just in the back.
Okay, I guess, I mean, you showed that he's not getting a lot of bass, for example. I guess that is filled in quite a bit from his from the subwoofers or from the side fills or from the drum fills that he's using.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Nice. How about the singer's mix for? How about Kevin?
Yeah, we can watch it over here. So it's like Kevin has a very I think it's a very nice mix where only his vocals are a little bit louder than the other ones, and even as my guitar a little bit louder. Wow. Yeah, but it's very balanced, I think. So it's drums quite loud, then bass, guitars, backing vocals a little bit, samples click. The FX Chan is this is actually vocal reverb. It's like an effect chain that Bolo built for us. So when you have the feeling that the vocals are too dry, you can just add that a little bit. So this is very cool because every one of us can edit independently. So if I don't like it, I can choose to not have it, and someone else can just go for it. So this is very cool.
Cool. Do you use ambience microphones?
Not anymore. We had them for a few tours, and I think I was the only one finding this useful. So we choose to not have them anymore.
Okay.
But we are thinking about to bring back maybe to do it wireless, because it was a hustle when we had like 5 minutes changeover or something to bring them on stage for like, I would say it was cool, but it was not the big step. So you just had them a little bit, and when they were placed not good, sometimes they were placed on the sides near the subwoofer or something. So it even adds so much dirt that you had not really a benefit from it.
Okay,
So
yeah, I see.
I like to hear people singing and have the interaction with the people. But I see Kevin plugging his ear one side out when he talks to the crowd. So this is working as well. But maybe this is one point we improve in the future.
Yeah, especially because I mean, temporarily taking it out for a sec is okay, but for longer term, that's actually quite dangerous for the ears.
Yeah, right.
So there's another question coming in from Chris.
Yeah.
He's asking, are bass drops, riser, and so on mixed with the samples group, or are those set up in FX as well?
No, they're mixed here in the samples.
Okay.
We had the bass drops. We had an extra channel for the bass drops, but I think the last tour we changed it and put them into the samples as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but this is one thing we might change for the next tour again. It's like trying out all the time and improving. But yeah, but since now we can't play any shows, yeah, I don't know. Maybe in the next few months we start to rehearse again and try a little bit out what we're doing for the next tour. But yeah.
Cool. How is it? How many let me rephrase that. How often do you actually change your in-ear mix? Is that something where at every show and every rehearsal you are just completely messing around with everything, or is it more or less consistent and you just change a couple of levels here and there?
Actually, most of the time we didn't change anything. We go on stage, we have a sound check, and it's perfect. Like it is when we do a rehearsal. But sometimes when you have like a weird stage or a weird PA to the front of house where you have another feeling, I don't know, I can't explain it right, but it sometimes it feels weird or a little bit different, and then you adjust some things, but it's not very much. So sometimes I just want to hear my guitar a little bit louder or less vocals or something, but it depends also on my mood when I go to stage or when I have a sound check, and it depends on how much beer I drink before a show. So
yeah, I can see how that can have an impact. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's true. So this is when we do adjustments, but yeah, you don't need to change anything. So you can just play a show and you're good. When you want to have it perfect, you can just adjust a little bit, something what you maybe want a little bit more or less or something. But these 3D settings I showed you, we actually never touch them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay. And how did you get to the positions? Was that something that you discussed, or were basically just thinking what would be a good place where you should probably try it, or is it just messing around and just checking whatever sounds good?
I don't know. It was like when we first got the Klangfabrik, I was doing like a preset which everyone had to the beginning. So no one started at where it was a mono mix or something. So I just dragged the icons where I thought they had to be. When I would do a 3D mix for music, I thought, okay, when I close my eyes, where do I want to hear which element? And that was why I placed it in this in this style I showed you. And from this point on, everyone was doing some adjustments. So it was how it developed. Yeah.
Okay, so I understand it as a more or less intuitive approach. So basically just moving it whenever you didn't like it at that position and just put it somewhere else.
Daniel is doing a lot of mixing. He's also mixing our albums and songs, and he's like he's actually very good in it, and he's some experience. So I discussed some things with him, what makes sense and what maybe not. So we had like a little bit of background, but most of this is intuitive. And the cool thing about it is that you can't fuck it up. So even if you're saying, I like my bass guitar over there, or I like my vocals over there, it's not wrong. So you can't fuck it up. You will still hear the whole mix, and you can just try to do whatever feels good for you. So this is very cool.
Nice. Okay, that sounds very good. Okay, so we had a very, very good insight already now into your setup. Do we have any further questions right now from anywhere? Let me just check if there's anything else popping up over here. No, I think we answered quite a few of that already. Not sure if there are any different ones, because I think there's also a kind of watch party.
Page, yeah.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that I don't miss any good questions here. Nope, there's also no questions. I guess we explained it quite well. So we just give them a couple of more minutes. So what is on the menu right now for you guys? I mean, obviously you cannot tour right now, pretty much everyone else. So how are you keeping yourself busy?
We're just writing on our new record, so in the studio and recording. And I have Kevin is here.
Oh, nice.
Maybe maybe you can join me for like.
Hello, Kevin. Kevin, the singer of the band.
Talk about.
Hey guys, what's up? Good to see you. Yeah, we've been recording some stuff in the other room. We have 2 studio rooms actually, and I was working with our new singer next door. It was pretty cool.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
No, heard Pascal already told you.
Cool. And how's it going? How many songs did you record already?
A lot. So we started early this year, before all that Corona shit happened. So we started right after New Year's Eve, and I don't know. We've had some times when it didn't went so good. When it worked, it was harder to write new songs. When it felt harder, you had to think more, and it didn't feel like a passion anymore. And right when we started in January, it was that passion again. And right now we have almost 9 full songs.
Yeah.
It's like
very good.
We can make this, and it comes out of something. Yes. And
very cool. Cool. Hey, nice that you're joining us, Kevin. Can you give us a couple of comments on your in-ear mixing approach as well? Because I mean, as we discussed before in the rehearsals and all that stuff, you all are basically just fiddling around in the app yourselves, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. I heard what you guys said. I had like my little iPhone next to the recording stick, and basically, I have to admit that I'm not the tech guy. Pascal is the one that I'm trusting in the band. So whenever there's a room that gives weird feedback or when the sound differs a little bit, I'm going straight to Pascal and ask him what his mix is. And the good thing is you have a copy paste function in the app. So mostly it's like paste Pascal sound and put it to mine, and works
ooh.
perfectly. Yeah.
Oh, that's an interesting approach. So basically you say, okay, I don't like the mix how it sounds in this room. Pascal, do you like yours? And if he likes his, then you basically
Yeah.
just copy his mix and just adjust
Sometimes
the
we
levels a
use
little
it.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely.
It's very
how it
cool.
works, yeah. So
Nice. Okay.
I'm more an emotional guy. I don't know the parameters, and I can't. I can't. I don't know what's going on in there actually. So whenever I'm coming on stage and I don't feel like the sound is perfect for me, I ask Pascal and he helps me a little bit. And then it's like it's very as you said, it's very intuitive. You switch some parameters and you get a straight feedback. So it's very easy even for people that are not into
Even for people like you.
even for people like me. It's easy to have a good sound mix.
Well, yeah, even if we have a little bit of a techie talk today, I mean, that's exactly the interesting thing because, I mean, all the stuff that we're doing, all the discussions that we're having in today, but also in our more deep technical webinars, I mean, that is all about just enabling you as performers on stage to just give you an environment that you can just feel confident and feel good about it and just can focus on your music. So that's the whole idea behind it.
And as I heard when Pascal talked about some technical issues we had on stage, I can totally understand what he's saying, because when you don't trust in your system and when you don't have trust in what's going up behind the stage, you can't relax on stage. And even, I mean, Pascal has to play his instrument, but we as front guys, vocal guys, we have to perform with the crew, with a crowd. And sometimes when you feel distracted from problems next to and back of the stage, you don't feel the crowd and you can't put on a good show. And
very good point.
Yeah, we had some issues which you maybe can't take care of, like when there is no power anymore. So
well,
yeah, we had this sometimes, and I mean. This is something you cannot be prepared for, but I think with the setup we run, we can be very confident that everything is working good. So that this situations don't happen too much.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, in power failure, you can't do a lot about that. But it's really good to hear that you have a trust in your rig. And as I said before, I mean, kudos for that. It's a very, very cool designed rig. Hey Kevin, how was it for you? I mean, we talked a little bit before about the history, how you started with mono mixes, or even before that with just wedges on stage, and then mono in your mixes and stereo mixes and 3D mixes. What has changed for you in that process? Could you put that in a few words?
Yeah, a lot, because regarding a typical stereo line, I like my sound loud. On my in-ears, whenever my guys try my in-ear mix, they're like, oh fuck, don't blow my head off, because I have everything very loud. And the problem was I had it that loud because I didn't have a good mix. So I wanted to blast my ears off, but at the same time I wanted to hear my own voice, or the voice of the of Sushi, or the guitars and drums. And with this 3D sound, it's easier for me to have a good mix. Like I can put things where I want them to be, and I don't even have to go that loud anymore. And my ears thank me a lot. So,
oh yeah. So you actually could reduce your overall volume quite a bit.
Absolutely. It's still
loud. Yeah.
It's still loud, but I could reduce it a little bit. So it's actually very good for my ears, and that's the point of having in-ear monitors. Actually, that you can reduce.
every dB that you can lower your mix is something that is very, very important for the health of your hearing, especially, I mean, with 100+ shows per year, plus rehearsals, plus studio sessions and all that stuff, even more important. Very cool. That's very nice to hear.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Hey, I think we're approaching 1 hour, so I think that's a very good time to wrap it up. And I don't want to keep you guys too long from getting new songs out. I'm personally very excited about those. Can't wait to hear them.
We also have fun. We thank you for your time. I heard your
thank you very much.
Yeah, and we're coming back with new music very soon. As I said, we have a lot of songs ready already, and start to record the vocals next week. And they're going to be some news soon. So I hope to see you in person again after that Corona shit. Yeah.
as soon as we can all be out again, and as soon as you guys play the first shows again somewhere in the area, I will definitely come by with a case of beer or whatever you guys want.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah,
hey, thank you
very
so much. Have a great day. Have a great studio session. Stay healthy, of course. Take care of yourself. And see you very, very soon. Thank you so much, guys.
Okay, cool.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.